Now, Olaf is such a bad champion and old that it honestly kind of hurts that he's this bad. So I'll be reworking him. The point of this rework is more to shift his powers into different points, and I'll explain each point as I go through it and why I made the change. But it's supposed to keep the same or similar strengths, but shift them to other means. So let's start with the passive. Right now, the passive just gives him 99% attack speed, 1% attack speed per each missing health. Um, this is bad. This is such an outdated idea to have such a like a juggernaut, because he is a juggernaut based around like a lot of attack speed. Even something like today's Viego is more based around hitting you quick and fast and then disengaging, or not really having a lot of power to just have a burst, not really just spam auto attacking. He can, but that's not his strength. Same with Jax, even though like he is like supposed to auto attack a lot. More modern style builds go for those sheen items and more for like quick in, stun in, burst in, kind of like that, which is how I'll be playing Olaf. So even though I'm kind of complaining about the attack speed, I'm not even playing attack speed, really. So, um, as I've said, I don't like the passive. I think it's an outdated idea. So, I'm gonna change that. So, based on the missing health, he gains attack speed, and damage, auto attack damage. This might be a bit too overpowered. I'm not sure if it wants this to be on hit or straight up AD, like base AD. Uh, Maybe bonus AD, but bonus AD might be a bit too overpowered. I'm thinking on hit would be the best choice here. So like attack speed and on hit. The idea here is to deviate away from like pure attack speed, and for him to have like a little bit more of auto attacks a few times, deals a burst of damage, and that's mostly. But if you want to auto attack a lot, then you can. You still have that option to auto attack in extended fights, but not to have all of his strength in extended fights. I really think that's an outdated idea. So that's my uh, that's what I'm trying to do. So he gains attack speed and on hit or base AD. Once again, I'm not sure which one. That's up to balancing. Okay, for the Q. The only thing that I changed about it is that it now grants attack speed per each enemy champion hit, and the attack speed is doubled if you're walking towards the enemy. Uh, if this ends up being too good or too underpowered, then the way it could just give attack speed per each champion hit. The thing is, I want him to also have like an escape tool, because he feels very assassin-like by having no escape tool, which kind of forces you to build a fuck ton of defense, which I don't like. So, that's the idea, but I also want to reward him playing a bit more aggressive, which is why I want the attack speed to increase. Maybe not double, but like increase when walking towards enemies. Um, and this is a shift of power. This might sound overpowered, but I'm actually shifting it from the ult, so the ult does not longer have the attack. I'll get to that when I get to that. Okay. W. That's a very big change. That's the one ability I changed the most here. What it does is, first of all, it locks your current passive for for the duration. I think it lasts 4 seconds. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, so let's say you're half health, or let's say you're lower. Let's say you're 30% health. So you have like um, attack speed and on hit based on like 30% missing, 70% missing health, because you're on 30% health. So then when you click the W, it locks that for 4 seconds for the duration of the W. So it locks that bonus of attack speed and on hit that you get from your passive. So when you get more health, it no longer gets lower for that 4 seconds. So let's say you get uh 25% attack speed, or 30% attack speed and 50 on hit, which is a lot. But once again, numbers really. So usually what happens is you get high, you heal your health because the W gives you physical vamp, or I think it's just healing. I'm not actually sure. Uh, I think it's physical vamp, right? That just heal for the physical damage dealt. It's not omni vamp because it doesn't get reduced by AoE, which is how omni vamp works. It's like Aatrox's E passive, if I remember correctly. Anyway, so for you heal for damage dealt. So your passive gets lower, which kind of puts you in a lose situation right now. But because it might change locks it, I think it's gonna fix that mostly. So that's the first part of it. It no longer gives like flat attack speed. Maybe it does. Maybe like a small amount, like 15%. Just so he has like an easy time clearing. So he gets that flat attack speed, but it locks the passive. That's the important part, and still gives him like the healing from damage dealt and healing increased based on how low health he is. And I'm not sure how it works currently. If you get less healing the more you heal, or it just locks it. If it doesn't, then obviously I want it to be changed so it does lock it. If not, if it does if it does change based on his health, even while it's active, obviously that's what I mean, then I want it to lock it. If not, then if it already does lock, then good. The E, that's a big change. Instead of, I think it's like right now it's 10-second cooldown. Let me check. It's 11-second cooldown, very very close. So, wait, I can actually check how much. It's lifesteal, huh? It is. It's lifesteal. Okay. I guess I'm just dumb. So the E, instead of being like 11-second, gets reduced by auto attacks. Then the E is now 4 seconds, or maybe even lower, like 2 seconds. Costs more health. Right now it costs like 34 health. That is fucking nothing. I want it to cost current health, but like a lot more current health. Something maybe even similar to like Mundo's Q. So like a lot of current health, but the duration, but the cooldown is way lower, but it no longer gets reduced by auto attacks. The idea here is to have more consistent damage that doesn't require him to auto attack often, so he could go in, E, Q, E, W, get some auto attacks in, go back out, get back in, which is also what Riot said in one of their patches, that's their intended balancing. So it kind of works well because that's Riot's vision. So I'm just, if Riot wants this and I want this, so everyone's happy, right? Did I forget anything else? Oh yeah, the E now deals AoE damage. If this ends up being too overpowered, then the AoE damage can just be against monsters. The reason is I want him to have a bit more of a better clear. That's it. If this ends up being too overpowered, they could just remove it because he already has a bit of AoE with his Q, so it's not absolutely necessary. And the other thing that obviously depends on balancing is I want the E to be to have on hit on a reduced amount though. Once again, this might be too overpowered, so I'm not sure about this. This is not required, but that doesn't mean I don't want it to be a thing. And now for the ult. The ult works very very similar, but instead of giving you movement speed, it no longer gives you the movement speed part because that part is on the Q. For the damage part, I thought about moving that to the passive. So as I said, it might be bonus AD on the passive, but then not bonus AD on the ult. So it's a bit more of a risk reward. But this might be overpowered. The other way this could happen is that the bonus AD you get from the ult is based on how low health you are. So once again, you wanna get lower health. That's the real point of this rework, is I want him to be a risk reward champion that is also much more modern. Um, which is why I thought this might be cool. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything for Olaf that I want to do. Uh, we're only halfway through the game. It's not even like the interesting parts. Hmm. Where's my KDA right now? Because I think I go much higher KDA. 5-1. I guess it's not bad. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say for Olaf. Sure, probably spaced this way better, but I guess it doesn't matter. We win this game.